can you pray tonight? Baby, can you pray for us? Oh, baby, can you pray? 'Cause every time you make time, it's holy to the end. So pray tonight. So you won't know that I know, yeah. For everywhere that we had messed around and I knew it. But I've been ready every day. You know everything's alright. Are we gonna pray? Are you gonna pray?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Talent League. It's Playday 1 of our new Masters Division of Season 10. And it's not just me here, Pastor. I've obviously got Pooble, who's going to be casting with me. And we've also got Noctish as an analyst. How are both of you doing? We'll start with Pooble.
I'm doing good. Excited to see this matchup. I believe we were going to be casting Frei yesterday, potentially, and then some things went wrong on the Ubisoft side. A lot of people were affected by it, but either way, we still get to cast him this time, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, and Tish, how are you?
I'm just fine, recovering from a tough day yesterday, and here I am. Hopefully, everything goes as smoothly today.
Yeah, well, we do have, again, Frei versus Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs. It's our opening game of the Masters Division. We had some teams come in through the qualifiers. We've had some teams return from Season 9. We've already had a game played. This was played off-stream due to a reschedule. B Esports versus Secudo Esports. And Secudo, who we saw in the quals, actually won that 7-5 on Chalet. So we've already had that game underway. Looking at Frei versus Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs, then I'm just going to ask you, Noctish, if there's any background information you have.
So, about Frei, we know, actually about these two teams, we know them that since they have participated in R6 Combine, and they played actually tremendous on those stages. Also, they have gained huge amount of experience of playing against T1 teams. So these two teams that are going into this matchup are completely different from what we have seen them in Season 9. More importantly, the recent clash with each other was in R6 Combine. 3 games they have played against each other, open qualifier and in the brackets, which basically all of them went into the favor of BTD. Also, not to mention that BTD made a miraculously comeback in our Season 9. So I'm all hyped for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the game, should we just have a look at where we're going to be headed? Let's bring the map veto along here. And we will see Bank gone, Labs gone, Cafe gone, Consulate, all the way to Chalet, which isn't necessarily the most surprising. We've already seen a Chalet today. It seems to be quite popular in Tier 4. What are your thoughts, Pooble? We'll go to you first.
It's really, as you were saying, it's very, very popular now. It's sort of increased over time. It's become more of a kind of favoured map for these teams. So it's not really that surprising that we're going here. It should be, I think, a fairly even affair on Chalet. Obviously, it's one of those even maps we've seen in a lot of leagues. It tends to go 50-50, maybe some matches even favouring the attack, so you wouldn't really be surprised to see something like a 3-3 half here, and it would still very much leave things open in the air compared to maybe some other maps where a 3-3 half would have a much more detrimental effect going into round 7 to 12.
Well, we are about to head into the game, so Noctish, let's just get your final thoughts on Chalet and your prediction as well.
So actually, Chalet is not the best option for FF. I'm kind of surprised they kind of let it slip from their way. But it's a mild a map for BTD, so it's going to be exciting. And well, as an analyst, I always try to talk statistically. So based on their previous clashes, I think BTD's chance is higher going into this game. But also, we should not we should not eliminate the ability of these teams that have off-season and work on each other. So I would still say BTD, maybe on like a 7-5-ish map, maybe. Not sure.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Noctish. We'll talk to you at the end of the game. As for us, Joe, heading off to the French Alps in Chalet, what are you thinking? What are your predictions for this series?
Yeah, I think I agree. There should probably be a very sort of close win, but still a win for BTD. They have that sort of leading sort of advantage over in Combine. They've consistently beaten FF here, so it should be going the way of BTD. But it's Chalet. It can be a very, very close map as we're getting into these bans. Something immediately quite interesting there. The Grim taken off the board, an operator that you wouldn't really expect to see in the ban phase. You'd barely even expect to be seen in the pick phase, but he has undergone quite a lot of buffs sort of recently, so you know, maybe there's some kind of merit there. It does seem like a bit of a waste of a ban, and with Flores being taken out as well, I'd really expect an Azami ban here, but BTD choosing to go for the Flores Valk pairing.
Yeah, obviously it's still possible that Frei take away this this Azami. Again, Flores and Azami kind of go hand in hand, similar to sort of a Thatcher Kaid pairing, but actually we will be seeing Fenrir go. Not all too surprising as an isolated pick. Obviously, Fenrir is a very powerful defender, one of the newest ones in the game. They just don't really want to deal with how oppressive that can be when you're on the attacking side. But to see Azami slip through, especially with that Flores ban, is making me feel like this might be slightly more defender-sided than we first thought. However, it doesn't look like Frei are opting into the Azami, at least in this first round.
I think at the very end you might have just been a little bit tricked there, as we do see Bodolf head onto that operator, so we could still be seeing a very oppressive presence. Despite Fenrir being taken down, you've still got to deal with those barricades being placed up, and with no sort of consistent, I guess, counter in a single operator, it's going to be a lot more of a utility sink. You're going to have to really sort of dedicate multiple of your attacking operators for your BTD into dealing with those barricades. It could severely halt the momentum of the map. It could severely it could really damage BTD's push here, as I believe we are getting some feed issues here, so we should be getting those fixed fairly soon. I'm not sure if we're going to go for a break here, if this round will just be played off the stream, but either way, this should be fixed fairly well.
Yeah, indeed, it seems like we're at least a little bit smoother now, so looking towards this very first round, then it will be that basement defense like we were talking about. We've seen Goyo down here a lot as well, so Frei, again, not necessarily the most off-meta sort of picks. Legion as well, bring along that super shorty, can be quite useful. Those goo mines as well have been changed. They now deal instant damage, and again, like we've seen in previous games or previous seasons, even Thumbs nearly gets the kill action off early with a kill onto Donati, but he just manages to wriggle away and escape from inside of that kitchen. Early vertical being taken by BTD, but there's still a lot of the map to go if they can get down to the basement, and there's Guttero to find the opening pick.
Yeah, and we're still seeing these Frei defenders holding a lot of this vertical control here. It is kind of a necessity given this defensive site being chosen here, so you've got to hang on, and it doesn't end up paying up too well. Shoxel does get taken down by Den, but still, BTD are being held at quite a further distance away from the site. Remember, this is a basement defense, and FF have still got this ground floor control. Eventually, they're looking to retreat here, but a lot of time wasted, less than half the minute remaining, and I don't believe we have any openings on that site either, so it's going to be up to those BTD attackers to really just run through doorways, run downstairs, and that can be very, very risky as we get to this execute. It could be really, it's just a bloodbath for the side of Feuer Frei if BTD's guns aren't really hitting their marks here, as they're going to enter these highly contested choke points. We see Ghostly here challenging the wall in the basement hallway, the Ying of Discount as well, trying to formulate a play here to potentially win to get that wall open, but they're relying solely on those impact DMPs and the thermite charge. This could be very slow here as Den's taken down. This attack just keeps slowly falling apart.
We've seen a lot of execution play and that plant objective focus on Chalet in the previous week in terms of the tier 1 competition. Venoms does still have that diffuser in hand, but still kept off of the site for now. The flames of the Vulcan canister keeping them back, and now Bodov comes in with the impact grenade just to try and deal a little bit more damage. Den's been picked up in the meantime as we head into these final 20 seconds. There's a kill from Ghosty. That's Gossero going down now. Advantage lies with BTD, but they still need to get in. They still don't have much time. Ghosty down low, Den as well. Quaterna takes out Venoms now, defusing Cold. Case on the floor. Discount though, just find a kill back. 3 seconds left. There's absolutely no time. Ghosty's getting this plant down, and Donati comes through. Den with the cover, and it's just on Bodov. Ghosty able to get this stick, but Bodov just in time gets the injure. What a round that was. Final few moments, all of the action. But Feuer Frei come out on top.
Yeah, nail-bitingly close finish there, and it was a real masterclass from Feuer Frei into just wasting time, immediately sort of setting that win condition of the clock there and continuing to play around it, not necessarily hunting for gunfights, just stalling the attack until they have to get that plant down on the 000, and from there, it's all on Den, and he does a great job covering the first player, but when that second defender comes in, they just need to hit those shots, take down that planter, and things just collapsed the final moment for BTD there. Unfortunate for them, they did have an almost heroic comeback at the second part of that round, but Feuer Frei just really playing around that win condition perfectly, showing off that they had a clear plan there, executed very well, and they get that round win. And they're heading down to this kitchen next, which honestly might have a very similar philosophy here. You're going to have that top floor control, which can be particularly difficult for the attackers to deal with. So BTD, they're really going to look for a fast clear here, because if they can't do that, if they still get sort of caught in those same pitfalls, Feuer Frei could easily rack up another round doing basically the same thing, just wasting time, hiding in that sort of second part and playing for those important power picks like on the planter, like on the cover. So BTD, they're going to have to up their game and up their roam clear specifically.
Yeah, absolutely, that top floor. Very, very important, like you were saying. So BTD, let's see what they can do. It was very close round 1. Can they bounce back from it to find an attacking round here on Chalet? We've been seeing a lot of it over the past couple days, and Den is already looking like he wants to put pressure onto this top floor. Discount and Thumbs as well, all over on this side, applying pressure to Trophy, and obviously on the upstairs master bedroom window being opened up. Venoms as well, with some drones going in into Solarium. They want to make sure that they have this top floor underneath their control, in their clutches. It's definitely a good start. Den takes down Gossero early on, but Bodolf is there with a response, takes out Discount, Donati as well, SMG-11, SMG-12 in the chat, and then the G36C of Den rings out to make it a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, Den doing a phenomenal job there, but Shoxel, what a shot there onto Thumbs, just taking down the Repel player, and that's really going to put a sort of thorn in that BTD side. They're going to be a lot more at risk now. They've only got those 2 players actually remaining thanks to those just that flurry of trades in the early round. It's actually put BTD at quite a heavy disadvantage, because they're now going to have to make some very difficult choices. Already, it seems like top floor control is out of the window. With only 2 of those attackers remaining, they're going to want to push closer to the site, and that's okay, because there's actually none of those Feuer Frei players remaining upstairs, and Den gets a 3rd, really doing it all for his team in this round here, as Venoms is still on the cover, still trying to bait out an aggressive play from Feuer Frei, but quite rightly, they aren't giving it to him. They know that they are sort of inches away from maybe throwing a man advantage here, so they're just playing super safe, super disciplined, because they can afford exactly that. The Solace can look for a plant, the Warden as well can't be really caught out by those Candelas. They've really got all the tools they need to defend here, and it's up to the BTD players to try and find these kills, and Venoms can't. Donati, incredible pick from him, meaning it's a 1 versus 2 for Den, ace or bust.
He's already got 5 kills in this game, really doing everything for BTD so far this match. He's going to have a massive step up even for the impressive scoreline that we're seeing. He's caught on the default camera as well inside of Solarium. Donati just watching, waiting by this staircase to try and catch this rotation down. Den needs to be so hyper aware of this Warden's position. Shotgun at close range as well on the long range shots from Bodolf. SMG-11 in hand, making it all the more difficult for Den to find something. Tries to get the vertical angle as well. Donati just playing around it, tries to pull out the SMG-12. Get away from there, my son, because you are being called out from this top stairs position now into red time. Den has to try and push down these stairs. Donati has repositioned and he's found the kill. Feuer Frei up to 2.
And my heart bleeds for Den there. He's been put in 2 really stressful situations in back-to-back rounds. First covering the plant down, that basement attack, and then really had it all to do in round 2 there. Phenomenal plays from him throughout, but just still can't quite get the round over the line both times now. So unfortunate for him, but still great entry work though throughout that round. Getting those 2 picks really kept BTD in a fighting chance in that round, but it was really once again down to Feuer Frei. They just masterfully played that situation, that 2v1. Once they saw that man advantage slip away, just becoming much more laid back in their playstyle, not aggressing too much and waiting for those BTD players to make those risky plays, potentially even make those mistakes like the rappel in on Solarium with no real sort of cover onto those Solarium stairs. And then when it got into that 2v1, no real aggressive play at all, just playing off each other's intel. You could clearly see that as, I believe it was Donati only ever swung the player on the stairs after those first shots rung out, just securing that information, no risks taken, and that's led them to get that second round. Now, heading down into Bar Gaming, another site that, again, it's played pretty similarly. It's primarily focused on that top floor, on clearing out those defenders, because making a push without that is going to make things a lot more difficult. So it's going to, again, we're testing BTD's roam clear so far, and it hasn't impressed me, to be honest. They've been very slow. They've traded a lot of lives and got not a lot of control out of it both times. So really, this could be now or never. If they lose this round, it's symbolic of a much deeper problem in this BTD lineup.
Although, obviously, it being this Bar Gaming site does also tend to be a strong one for the defense. Choxel getting aggressive, caught out for it, punished for his hubris, and taken down by Discount to open the round here for BTD. They get off to a strong start, 5 versus 4. And there's another kill. That's Gutero going down to Venoms, this time on Bar Gaming. I said the defense can be strong here, but BTD making it look like a light work.
Yep, really are. Getting those 2 picks early, we've seen that if they can get that man advantage, they can continue to keep the ball rolling. With only a bit of damage, less than half of Discount's health taken away, they are looking very strong going into this attack here. Getting a lot of control. That intel from Thumbs there could really be the round winner if they can catch this Oryx off guard. If Katerna can't get away from that position, just gets taken down there and then, I don't think Feuer Frei have a chance of getting through this round, as a bit of damage else is traded, but Discount gets another 2 versus 5, practically unwinnable now for Feuer Frei, especially with the Oryx away from the site here. Donati alone in the bar, getting aggressive to try and make a play. Shots are exchanged. He does actually get some, so it's not a flawless round, but still, it's not looking good at all. 2 versus 3 though, as Donati continues to shut me up here. It still has gotten to the realm now where it is, in fact, winnable for Feuer Frei with a trade as well. Only a 1 versus 2 remaining.
Fortuna is in a very winnable position right now, off of the back of Donati's incredibly hard work in this round. Found himself a triple, trades himself out in the end there with Den, but there is Den to close it out. Bonnie's trusted dinosaurs, they get onto the round, or they go onto the board even with first round, but that was so incredibly close from Donati.
Yeah, it was another sort of heroic attempt, similar to what we saw from Den in those first 2 rounds, where despite Donati really doing everything in his power, things just unfortunately don't go the rest of their way in the round, which allowed BT to get that first. But the key thing there, they were essentially gifted that opening pick. Player from FF getting very aggressive there, not really needing to be that aggressive at all, and BTD take that advantage and they continue with it. So that's very good from them. We haven't really been shown that they can get that opening pick themselves. They haven't been able to really get that that momentum behind them on their own without being given a bit of a gift by the defensive team here. So that's still potentially a bit of a cause for concern for BTD here, of course. Only 3 rounds shown, so we can't really extrapolate too much information from this team as of yet. But you can kind of write off that round as something that wasn't going that well for Feuer Frei to begin with after that opening pick. Back to basement, though, was a very strong site for Feuer Frei. They can continue that success. They're still very much locked in for a good match here on Chalet, a very strong performance from them. If they just continue that, a very oppressive, very sort of long-lasting roam game.
Have to see whether it works out for them. Feuer Frei, success down here before. I really want to see Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs level us up here. Just because, I mean, I want it to be a close game. I think we all want to see a tight contest inside of this one. Because, you know, for the first game to be a bit of a blowout would be unfortunate. So, get this round all tied up 2-2, and then we really do have a game on our hands. The E1D comes out, Donati still downstairs, he's opened up the hatch, but there's the flank from Quaterna, finds a kill onto Thumbs and completely just destroys his top floor hold from Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs. The Legion will just rotate out as well, main door is open, but he is able to slip away, find himself some safety inside of that connector room.
Yeah, BTD once again just sort of repelled by this roam game and seemingly almost lost. We're still seeing Ghosty outside of the building, not really knowing where to go in as of yet. A lot of drone work yet to be done here as the FF defenders not really dislodged that much at all from their positions. You've still got that looming threat of a player in that car garage who could come and shut down any wine cellar sided push. Discount still on the repel. The BTD attackers, they're just so sort of far away almost. Finally, a push going towards that boiler wall, but they haven't dealt with the rest of this roam game. It would have to be a very, very fast push now to potentially catch the defense off guard, or else they're really just going to get caught by those roamers. There's a very short window of execution that needs to be taken advantage of, and that Goyo canister might just spoil everything here as BTD. They've got this basement control, but once again, that just looming threat of a flank. Ghosty seems aware of it, Venoms too, but they don't know about Gutter. In that car garage, he strikes, takes down the thermite, and things have gotten very, very bad for Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs here. But 2 quick responses to the side of FF makes it a 3v3.
Then pushing in 7 and 1, caught out by Boomine, taking a lot of damage. But they still have the 3 versus 3 Ghosty retaking the diffuser. But there's this vertical play to come through. Quaterna Donati finding the Pix Den again in this clutch situation. Again, needing to be the one to step up for his team. So this time, he's got 3 players left to find. Is going to try and stick the plant with the E1D coming out. Guttero actually taking the jump out, forcing Den's hand, trying to look for these 20 seconds. And he's going to repeat the exact same angle his teammate can. And, well, it works the exact same way for Donati. 2 picks from the hatch. TCSG works out for Feuer Frei. They're up to 3.
Yeah, you could see from BTD they tried to circumvent that roam. They tried to go for that horizontal push. So we are just entering a bit of a tech pause to get things sorted out here with the feed. I believe we're just swapping over to another feed to just make sure everything is up to sort of top quality. I believe we are indeed back on cameras. Hello. I liked from BTD in that round that they acknowledge that the roam clear just simply isn't working for them. So they try something else. They go for that full horizontal push. Yeah. Obviously, they don't account for a player in car garage. They weren't there in that previous round. It's kind of just one of those things where you don't really want to drone it. You don't sort of deem it a necessary use of your time if you've never been sort of caught by that before. So we're introducing Noctish back again. Hello. But the thing is, once again, as I was saying in that cast, there is a short window of execution. Once you go for those fast pushes, you kind of have to commit to it, especially with that hatch being open, with the roamers who you know are on that ground floor, on that top floor, who can try and disrupt that plant. And a combination of BTD just being a bit indecisive and that Goyo canister placement on the wall just led to that sort of opportunity completely slipping away from them. And from there, Feuer Frei basically won that round, on top of the flank from the car garage as well.
Yeah, Noctish, let's bring you into this one then. Obviously, we've seen 4 rounds so far. What has been your take on things? Do you agree with Joe? Do you...
Actually, before actually going about Joe's point, I want to see if you guys agree on me on this point, that one of the most important difference between T1 and T2 and the other leagues like in T3 and T4 is the ability to risk for individual players to play certain ops. In these 4 rounds, we haven't seen anyone playing Rams, and with that bringing up to the point, which we have seen a lot of basement plays and a lot of places that these people could destroy the floor, and they eventually brought Sledge multiple times,
Yeah.
but they didn't commit to playing Rams, which is basically the Ash with the Stone Grenade back on. It is something that actually catch my eye. I just want to know if you agree with me on this point or not.
I think the RAM would also definitely help with the roam clear, because that big amount of noise, it's surely going to cause a bit of panic, a bit of chaos in the comms, maybe trying to figure out where that drone is. So it could have helped, but as you said, they seem a bit just sort of scared to try something new. They're just sticking with that Sledge, that known quantity of the past sort of 3 years that's been seeing consistent play, when maybe exactly BTD just need to try something new, something different to deal with this problem that has continually plagued them.
Yeah, and something on that point as well is maybe switch it up, go for something snowmobile side. We've been seeing they've tried to go for these sort of trench plays and it's worked. If you have the RAM especially, you can even pick use that burst flow. You can open up that entire floor, get yourself into snowmobile, maybe get a plant. Possible that that could have been the way to go for BTD, but we're not going to see them attack on basement unless they go to overtime. So we'll see whether that actually comes to fruition.
Yep.
Exactly. And about Joe's, yeah, go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I think we are hopefully going to be getting back in the game within a matter of minutes now. I've heard confirmation that we do have a feed up, so we shouldn't be here too much longer. We should have the game commencing, or resuming, I guess is the correct word, very, very soon. But yeah, go on.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs. Bomb located by attackers.
Once again, be heavily focused on these roam clears on that top floor. You're seeing the mirror window from that mezzanine position facing into library can be a real just push ender there if they don't deal with the player behind that, because it's so easy for the defender to just get those free picks on any attackers trying to get aggressive. It also a lot of the time necessitates a push from somewhere around office, which can take a lot of time as well from this attacking round. So overall, there's a lot of things BTD need to try and solve here. Just add on the sort of pressure that Cartona is causing on this Legion in dining as well. A lot of avenues they can get killed from, and they need to really choose their battles carefully.
And we'll see what battle they do indeed choose here in this round. Back to Park Gaming, obviously. We saw this. Lost the side before for Feuer Frei back in round number 3. Instead, it looks like they might be going a similar way for it. Den finding this opening pick, already up to 8 kills here inside of round number 5. Definitely doing a lot of hard work for the side of Barney's trusted dinosaurs. Obviously, we can't discount too much. He's also got 4 kills, also doing some work, but the rest of the team doesn't really seem like they're stepping up in the same way. It has all been Den and a little bit of discount. So, rest of the team for Barney's Trust Dinosaurs need to step up. This round is a good opportunity for it because they have already got the history of winning on this side.
Yeah, but again, it's a case of these other members stepping up. Den, he's really been the whole star of the show here, and he's not even on necessarily an entry operator on that line. Still has the DMR, which can pack a punch, but he's not exactly got the rest of the tools for the job here as Venom's taken down. There is actually a trade there as Venom's isn't caught out in the end, so Ghostly, that entry operator, finding another kill. 3 versus 5. This is looking like a very winnable round from BTD. These kills off site have forced this push, this defense even around Mezzanine to be much more laid back here as other angles need to be challenged. Shoxel trying to get aggressive, trying to make a play with that shotgun. Newly buffed, it actually wasn't him getting the kill. Gutter gets 1, but Shoxel taken out. 2 versus 4. Feuer Frei once again falling apart here, but Den, that star player, was taken down. Doesn't matter too much though, as Discount, player we were just mentioning, gets that kill. 1 versus 3 now. The plant attempted, but Venoms gets cold feet, gets off it. Smoke now, but gives away his position. Gunner gets a pick on the planter, but Thumbs trades it out, and BTD get their second here.
Venoms possibly could have stuck the plant, but the call was made that Guttero was upstairs on... they saw him on the drone, call was made, gets off, tries to find that kill through the vertical, didn't actually come through, but the drop was heard and Thumbs had the cutoff there. Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs, another good round where we've only really seen this roam clear work out for them on that bar gaming site. So coming into Dining Room Kitchen, it's again that question, can they clear these roamers effectively? Can they find man advantages? Because again, BTD are having real trouble getting the opening pick.
I think the one thing I'd suggest here for BTD, seeing as it is round 6, seeing as their final attacking round, and seeing as the roam clears just simply haven't been their speciality, what if you just go for a pusher? When Feuer Frei, you know Feuer Frei would like to heavily invest in these roams across the map. That would likely mean the defense isn't too armored itself, so if you just directly hit that site, whether it's going through basement, up through west main, heading just straight to that front door into kitchen, plenty of ways you can go about it. If you can just go for a rush here, sure, you can't really replicate that in other rounds, but it doesn't matter. This is your last attacking round, your last chance to try and even things out and stop Feuer Frei from getting that 4-2. I think BTD should just go for it.
Yeah, the problem there is that obviously if Feuer Frei have the vertical control, even if BTD tried to go for a plant, it could be easily caught out by Feuer Frei, especially with Bodolf playing on that Solis. It could be incredibly valuable for the defense should any sort of plant be trying to come through. But as it stands, it looks like BTD are, again, they're just getting their drones through, trying to clear these roams. Like we've seen in every single round past, it's only worked out for about 40% of those. And, well, for them, they're hoping to increase it to 50 inside of this one, with Donati upstairs, 9 and 3 as well, also been putting in the work. But Feuer Frei just a little bit more successful, the rest of the team stepping up just a little bit more. And I mean, I think he's still continuing to sort of swing these windows. I don't know if that is entirely the right call, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it very much seems like the BTD game plan has just been waiting for the Feuer Frei players to offer themselves up, get that pick, and that it just simply isn't sort of a consistent plan for success here. You can keep baiting on this window all you like, but if none of those Feuer Frei players ever engage, you're just sat there wasting time, to put it just brutally honestly. You aren't doing anything proactive there. We're seeing so much window play. Finally, a bit of damage does go the way of BTD. That onto Donati. He's in fact taken down the Warden off the board.
Good pick.
A crucial pick, potentially given this Ying, but still, a lot of time when it was just on this repel, you're still just waiting for people to give up their lives and offer them to you. You can't keep relying on that, as Bodolf is going to prove me wrong, as he just does exactly that. Tries to push Discount, and it doesn't go well. Feuer Frei, what are you doing? You could have this 4-2 in the clutches of your palms, and you're just letting it slip away.
Although Guttero does run out, Feuer Frei not deterred by that two-player disadvantage, instead even emboldened by it, taking more picks. Cortana spots that the player has jumped in, but as quickly as that goes, he finds a double here with the AK-12, and it is all on Cortana in a 1 versus 4. Tries to get this clutch across. Ghosty is looking like he might be trying to push for it, but there comes the kill in through. Venom's is the one with the diffuser trying to get that plant down. Prone angle isn't working for Cortana. Can't get the angle across. This will be the diffuser successfully planted this time around. Caught on the drone as well. Information sent over to Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs. Candela going to make sure that Cortana has absolutely nothing inside of this one. A second one comes through, and there is the flash again. Even a third, possibly. Is Cortana going to get caught out again? This time, it doesn't quite flash him up, but time continuing to tick down. It's a 7-second defuse, which means he's only got about 10 seconds left, and Discount shuts it down. Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs level up the half here. It's 3 rounds to 3.
And if there's one thing I hate, it's being wrong. And Feuer Frei right there, they could have easily just sort of, I was saying that a key to success, you just don't offer yourself up, because that's exactly what BTD want. That's exactly what their entire game plan was in those rounds they won. And Feuer Frei, they look to be playing very disciplined. They look to not be offering up those free picks. And then we see a swing on a window, a run out, and things just go colossally bad from there. The man advantage in BTD just isn't ever really recoverable for FF. So BTD, somehow, they get a 3-3 half out of this. That's pretty good. Just sort of looking at some of those rounds where things seem to be not going their way at all there. So they've actually got out of this, I'd say, fairly well. A bit too well, to be honest. Still, even half, there's plenty potential for Frei to win these rounds, get at least to OT, get even a regulation win here with the way Charlie can sometimes swing, as we're seeing BTD's first attempt at a defense here on that top floor, playing around library that's ghostly, so I'd imagine there's going to be a bit more utility invested around there, placing down those barriers, and obviously you'd need those ADSs to protect them as well, to just keep draining that attack utility, keep wasting that time. On the side of Frei, nothing too out of the ordinary here, except for that buck, which I imagine will be used for playing that sort of reverse vertical upwards to try and disrupt any any defenders holding positions, particularly thinking something like around the closet. As well as that sledge as well for those nades, I'd imagine bringing them solely for the grenades there, as that sledgehammer can command a bit of usage here, but not a lot given it is a second floor site.
Yeah, absolutely. The grenades are very, very important. Obviously, you could bring a knock along. This time, Joe, I have checked. Knock is not banned. I know, obviously, that did happen last time. You could bring a knock along if you want, but I guess if you're also more confident with the L85, then just go for that. Shoxel as well. AK-12, his weapon, and he finds a kill onto Thumbs. He's not necessarily having the best game 1-6, but still a good pick for Shoxel, who himself was on that same scoreline until about 10 seconds ago.
Yep, and it keeps that sort of attacker ball rolling. They get that immediate man advantage. They can keep just essentially playing for trades now. If they want to just play super safe, just take every gunfight that you want as a 2v1, try and get that trade. The numbers, they don't lie. You're always going to end up on top, even if it is just one man remaining there by the end of it. Still, it's a round win. Now, the way that Siege plays a lot of the time, you simply can't afford to do that. There's too many jobs that need to happen at once. So Frei still need to sort of pick their battles carefully here. But it's a great start, and we've seen, especially for BTD, the only rounds that they ever really stood a chance in on their attack when they were given that man advantage. And Denity, nice bit of drone work from his teammate there, helps him secure that kill. Den as well taken down, 5v2. Suddenly, Frei already look like they're about to just collapse onto this side. Guttero, I was going to say gets one, but actually 2 kills go the way of BTD here, as they might still have a chance in this round.
Oh, that's an unfortunate moment from Guttero. Looks once, looks twice, doesn't believe Discount is in that corner, who then gets a kill with the pistol. 2 versus 3. Ghosty getting aggressive towards Flip Balcony, towards this breach. Discount as well, looking like he might swing towards this piano double, but just holding the angle, waiting for Frei to walk into their sight lines. The drone comes through, predicting the play behind it, but instead there's actually no one there. Bodolf back on the drone, trying to find some more information. Ghosty still setting up the site as he wishes with those keeper barriers, and now just the swing ill-advised, taken out by Donati, just on Ghosty now, as Shoxel's starting to plant. Ghosty has 1 impact, but that's all he has, as well as a gun in his pocket. Tries to go for the swing. Donati finds his 3rd in the round, and Frei find their 4th of the game.
Really great early round from Frei there, getting those 2 opening picks that it looked, especially in that second kill, the BTD players had no real chance to kind of fight back there. The drone work, very good. The gun skill, very good. And then things suddenly took a bit of a turn for the worse for Frei in that mid-round. A couple kills lighting up the scoreboard on the side of BTD. And really, Discount, if he won that gunfight, things were looking a lot more winnable for BTD.
Yeah.
He still had that piano pressure. He can challenge onto the breach. It'll be a lot harder to get the diffuser down. So it was actually quite close to being a BTD round win there. It was just one gunfight going the way of Frei that really locked it in after that very good early round there. Frei, though, they want to just keep this momentum rolling, I guess. I don't think we've seen a team win 2 in a row since those first 2 rounds, so it would be a nice bit of momentum.
Oh,
just
BTD won the last 2 rounds of the half, right? Because it was 3-1 and 3-3.
My mistake. But either way, getting that first
Can you
attacking
pull
win,
yourself
very
a
good.
telecaster?
Honestly, I clearly was just asleep here. But winning your first round on the attack, very good. Sort of takes a lot of stress off you immediately. Winning those first 2, though, even better. It really allows you to have, well, first off, a bit of a safety net in case you sort of throw away a couple other attacking rounds. But it gets you onto a nice bit of momentum to just try and end this match quick, and that's exactly what Frei wants to do. You want to end this match as quickly as possible so you don't even give BTD a chance of coming back.
Donati 12 and 4 bringing along the Ram. Finally, we're seeing Ram on this bomb site. Snowmobile opening up. This is kind of what we suggested might be an idea for BTD to try. Instead, Feuer Frei bringing this strategy along. They're going to try and open up that floor above the site, have vertical control, get this plant down behind the bins on the breach, around that sort of area. That's exactly what we're going to see. The R4C as well with that 1.5 or even 2 times scope, just incredibly powerful weapon. Quaterna as well, applying some pressure from the library, throwing in some grenades, but no kills found off the back of it. They still are aware that Thumbs might be playing up inside of library. They also need to be watchful for Venoms, and also I believe there was a player around that sort of kitchen area as well. Indeed, Ghosty on this Mozzie actually might rotate up the stairs here, just an off angle to try and catch these attackers off guard. Bodolf though is looking wary. It's Guthero who finds the first, actually on the breach. That's Den going down on the site.
Yeah, and we're just seeing immediately how sort of strong getting that breach open early can be. You not only apply that sort of phantom pressure, I guess, of just the weariness of the defense, thinking there might be a player out there, but then once in a blue moon, you can just send someone there, get a quick swing, get a kill on any defender that's getting slightly too comfortable, and you've basically cleared out that entire part of the site. No one is really going to want to re-engage and challenge that, or else you risk having an even worse sort of man deficit here. 1 man down, doable. 2 men down, not so much. So we're seeing Venoms here very cautious about exposing himself to that breach, but that also traps him on that side of the site. Discount, sure, he can also swing out, but again, he might not want to. But with this floor open above him, he doesn't really have a choice. He's got to go somewhere, got to take one gunfight. Ghosty playing very, very defensively here, as it looks like it's actually going to be an attack from the wine cellar side. Despite all that setup sort of towards the snowmobile, it might have just been a trick all along, just getting that defender attention away from the main issue. They're going to want to get a plant down soon, though, because Ghosty, yep, he's on that hatch. That's another problem they have to deal with first.
Yeah, absolutely. This rotation over towards the wine cellar attack might actually look like a bit of a bad idea for them. Discount finds a kill, but Guttero just fries Ghosty on that hatch. Now that's vertical control out of the hands of BTD. Guttero's inside, found a triple. Quaterna as well. It's all on Thumbs, trying to find kills for his team inside of blue. Gets the first into a 1 versus 3. Donati's planting 12 and 4. Absolutely highest cost you can probably imagine right now, because that's a 40-second timer for this defender to try and fight back on. Donati holding tight angle. Guttero taking these swings towards the other angles himself. And then Shoxel is there as that last line of defense to try and cover this. 20 seconds now for Thumbs to try and cover this, and that time ticking down is going to make this all the more winnable for Feuer Frei. They look like they're going to be getting it up to 5. Guttero takes a swing, but takes a lot of damage for it. Thumbs now down low into these final few seconds. He's just going to be sitting here baiting for exit frags, I believe, and does indeed find one. Pads his stats a little bit, and he needs all he can get with that 3 and 6 scoreline. Donati looks away just the wrong time and gets taken down himself, but there's no time, and now Thumbs has no life either. Shoxel claims that kill, and Feuer Frei claim the round.
And Guttero is just a machine on that DMR.
Oh my god.
I thought for sure that hatch play, it's the Achilles heel of so many of these wine cellar pushes. They just don't do the proper sort of legwork earlier on of clearing out kitchen and clearing out that roam, and they always get caught by that open hatch, which just allows you to directly shoot those planters. I thought that was going to be a round that Feuer Frei threw away. And then Guttero just decides he's going to kill. He's going to swing in, get a kill, and everything. That was the one sort of saving grace of BTD, just annihilated by the Twitch there. So he's still on this role. Can't really blame him. He's been doing an incredible job, not only throughout this match, but on that operator as well, using that weapon. So may as well just stick with it. Has that extra added utility of Den on those mirrors. You can easily deal with them fairly early on in the round using the lasers of those Twitch trains. But Guttero, he's actually going with something different. He's opted onto that Capitao, a more sort of, I guess, less played way of clearing out library. Usually a lot of teams will prefer a very simple option of just going in with that Twitch drone, taking out the window, forcing the defender to be a lot more uncomfortable. Instead, likely going to be smoking out that window, potentially even throwing a fireball into the corner of library, as some players will tend to play around that position. It's going to be quite hard to deal with, but still, he's got the scoreline to back up a fully automatic weapon, so he's probably going to do bits this round, Guttero. He's had a couple of incredible rounds strung together. Feuer Frei in general, a couple of great rounds strung together. 1 away from match point now.
Donati coming in with this Brava, going to be trying to take this information away from the defense. There's a default camera, there's a bulletproof camera as well, and they're getting these drones inside of the library as well to try and find out the information on this play. Guturo sitting here with the firebolts in hand. Obviously, there are those ADSs, there are those magnets that do need to be cleared out first. They're just waiting for that as more shots ring on through. There's one kill there's one shot on the ADS all the way from that fluke balcony double window, and the EMP's just going to be taking them out. Oh, Donati! What a kill onto Discount. Ghosty, though, does answer back, finds a response onto Scott Turner. It's kept onto a 4 versus 4, Joe.
Yep, and he's still got that winner to play behind as well, so Frei going to have to put a little bit more work into dislodging this position as we actually see what I believe to be a total rotate here. No one really wanting to deal with Library now that they have that mirror window, they have that as army still up. So, yeah, quite rightly, they're just going to opt for a different approach. It's likely going to be one of these north side clears towards Library instead, potentially going into Kitchen if you want to make it more of a horizontal take here. But the thing to really keep in mind here, this is a sort of split, like in the moment, heat of the moment decision here. This wasn't planned. You can see it wasn't planned. They've clearly adapted their
Oh no!
Thumbs takes down one, has an opportunity for another, playing around the bathroom door, and he's still in a very fortified position. It's on Donati. Really, if he loses this gunfight, Frei are out of this round. BTD get up to 4. Crucial gunfight in the office here. He's going to use as much intel as he can. Throws that drone down to scare him off. Doesn't win the gunfight yet, but Den gets one. It's basically all over here. Thumbs still causing a nuisance. Finally taken down. 2 versus 3 though, and with still that library control, things are looking grim for BTD or for Frei.
Yeah, although obviously Grim is banned, again, also by Frei, so we at least have that going for them. Donati, though, is 14-4, a lot of opportunity to try and find kills, perfect bait onto that player. Ghosty's down as well, but Den's got the C4, and Den has the round, saving it for Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs, because I thought maybe we could have seen a clutch coming through there. As it stands, BTD have brought it back to within 1.
Yeah, quick decision making from Den there, just using that nitro cell in what was honestly a bit of a risky play there, but just confirming that kill, not wanting to be put in the, I guess, the pressure of a clutch situation like that, just taking those players out immediately. Really good from him, had a phenomenal game here despite the scoreline not being the best for BTD still. Only one round actually separating these teams, despite how Feuer, how dominant they've seemed at points in this matchup. BTD still sort of racking up quite a nice number of rounds here behind them. They've clearly had quite a bit of practice on this map. They know what they're doing at certain points. Some of their attacks maybe left us questioning it a bit, but either way, they've got these 4 rounds. They are certainly in a winnable position still. It's on Feuer to not sort of blow this lead too much. They've attacking even onto this kitchen site once again. I believe they've already won that attack. Am I correct in thinking that? Was that the first round of BTD's defenses?
I think so. I can't actually remember. I believe it was.
Still, they're bringing that ramp, so we're going to be seeing the new operator. I will imagine Turner is going to be playing around that office. Probably not entering, probably waiting for someone like Guturo or potentially even Bodolf to take that entry engagement just so Turner can live to actually use those drones on the office. And once they really get that office control and get those drones running, things can become a lot more difficult for BTD on the kitchen just because of the sheer amount of destruction on that ceiling.
Absolutely, that vertical control. We've been talking about it all game, Joe. Very, very crucial, especially on this bomb site. So let's see what Frei can do about it. They have a buck, they have a ram. They've got all of the tools in their arsenal to be able to get this across. But let's not take away from Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs. They absolutely have the tools in their arsenal to completely disrupt this. We've seen in these past few rounds their guns absolutely come alive, especially, you know, Den has kind of had a back seat for a little bit, but Discount and Ghosty especially have been stepping up. Thumbs as well has been doing pretty well for himself, if we ignore the first half. So, lots of positive ideas here for Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs to try and hold on. Donati pushing on his way through, shoots out the default cam, but that was still some information fed across to this defense of Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs. So, Donati now pushing up even further, I would assume, as this entire southwestern side of the top floor now in the hands of Frei. They have this under their control, pushing across to try and find what else they can see, what else they can gather upstairs before transitioning down to that ground floor.
Yeah, and there was a particularly interesting use of the RAM gadget there as they were clearing out library. They just set it to go on that library floor, which at first you might think, okay, that's a bit of a waste. There's no one really playing in games room. There's no one really pushing games room. But I think it was used primarily as a sound blocking sort of device. You could see Donati pushing up from that basement there, so I think that drone was just used to mask the sound cues of the approaching attackers. So that's a great swing from Thumbs there, really seizing the opportunity, getting that pick, eventually traded, but still, they're showing that defensive presence still above. Cartona taken down as well. That's the Ram, that key player we were talking about. His trades just keep going at both sides now. Den takes down one. Still, this BTD presence on this top floor is going to be quite a nuisance for Feuer. They're going to have to deal with it, and as Ghosty gets one, things are going to get even worse here. They're somehow making this round much more winnable here, just down to this roam.
Yeah,
As Ghosty just gets two.
Unreal. Just completely farms them up here. Ghosty on the top floor. There's the first, there's the second. As quick as you like for that one. And we're tied up, Joe, and the more important thing here, again, it's those similar... It's those similar moments of the roam clear not working out.
Yeah, it seems like very few of these rounds have really been lost just down to that kind of side execute. Sure, we've seen rounds literally end with teams planning, but that's because of the damage that roam has had. There's no real times, I think, where these attacking teams have done well on a roam and then lost just purely down to those gunfights in the actual sort of final 40 seconds. It's primarily just down to these good roaming setups, draining down the timer here, and it, as you said, continued on this side swap. BTD, particularly looking at Ghosty, just holding his ground up there, continually getting these picks. A very good job from them as they're going on this second floor site now. So good thing for Feuer here, there isn't that much opportunity for a roam here. Sure, you might have players around library, potentially even below. I see one Nitro Cell in that lineup and it's on Den, so I honestly don't imagine we'll be seeing that much pressure exerted around that kitchen. So that could give Feuer a very good opportunity to just go for a direct site hit here. But with Den having that mirror window towards the library, things could still get quite difficult. It could still sort of waste a significant amount of time here for the side of Feuer.
Honestly, we predicted that it would be a BTD 7-5 win. That's kind of the consensus that we had on the desk before this game. Bill teed up for that, but Feuer, I feel like they have something more. I feel like they can take this to overtime. They might even be able to win it in regulation, but I feel like overtime is probably, in my opinion, the most likely sort of outcome of this game. You just have to see, because Feuer, they have lost a couple of rounds in a row now. The question is, can they mentally bounce back from this as well? We haven't seen a timeout called from either of these teams. The only pause we had was that tech pause. So there's that question again of the mentality.
Yeah, Gutro just holding that drone there. For those that don't know, the Ram drone, just such a heavy object, it will instantly break barricades upon collision, as well as making that very loud noise. I'm thinking we are going to get a direct sight hit here with that drone masking the audio. Bodilf gets one as well in that window, making things even easier. Shock's down below, so he's quite far away from the action. Bodilf gets two on this window. These BTD players just offering themselves to him. Shock's push getting halted by that Legion Goo Needle, but I still think Gutero is playing around that Ego balcony. I think he has dropped, so there was potential for a very quick push here, but FF, they seem to have opted for another decision. They've seen something else that maybe we haven't, because things were looking very good there, but a change of plans has been called.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they've spotted that there are a couple of these players actually not on the bomb site themselves. Donati catches the rotation of Den. Ghosty and Discount now trying to save this one. Vertical shots not hitting from either side. Ghosty manages to dip away. Discount finds some shots, nearly taking down Donati on that balcony, but still nothing found. The push up is going to be massive from Frei. Discount left 1 versus 5. Needs to ace, needs to clutch, needs to have everything go his way for this one, and he can't even get the first. Quaterna locks it down for a flawless round, and Frei, match point, looking to take the push for all 3 points here.
Yeah, one more round required for that ideal outcome for Feuer, but things aren't over for BTD. They've still conceded at least 1 point here, but they can potentially walk away with an overtime victory, and with how back and forth this match has been, that is looking to be quite likely that we head towards that, well, after this 12th round, but Frei still have a chance here. BTD defending Bar Gaming once again. It's going to require Frei to have a pretty good roam clear once again, a thing that these attacking teams have struggled with. Alternatively, if you really want to end it here in round 12, again, I'm going to have to push for it. Maybe just go for a rush here. Just catch them completely off guard. There've not been really any fast executes, fast pushes in this entire match. Sure, BTD, they might read into that. They might think that, well, this is the time we'd least expect it. Let's sort of apply a bit more defensive force on the site here, but it's also Bar Gaming, a site that really doesn't have many safe angles. If you primarily play on it itself, you need to actually opt in for that roam game. So potentially, I'm looking, you just go for a full-on rush here. There's hard flooring above kitchen. There's only a hatch that can really be used to thoroughly deal with some of those angles, thinking like a plant behind that bar. There's definitely opportunity for it. I just don't know if Frei are really going to have the guts to go ahead with it because of how risky it is.
It is an incredible risk, yeah, I agree. I really hope we see it. I think, especially considering Quaterna's 9-9, Guttero's 9-9, Denati's 16-6 is a ridiculous scoreline, and here we have that twitch, something we saw them switch away from the first time around. It didn't quite go their way this time, opening up that mirror window, making Den's job on the site incredibly difficult, but it does seem like we are going to have that slower sort of approach with things. So 30 seconds gone, they're just on their drones, clearing out this top floor, opening the sort of windows, try and find these angles. And for a second I thought Discount might have been dead there from that ego balcony as well, but instead, we just sit in a very uneasy 5 versus 5.
Yeah, both teams, the perfect word for it there, uneasy. The stress might clearly be getting them here, the pressure, particularly for Frei. They want these 3 points. Every point matters here. Ghosty, very aggressive, but most importantly, he survives, and he still has that mirror window to play behind. There's still a lot of ways the defense can get these cheeky kills. Shield on top of library stairs as well, going to make things increasingly more difficult for Frei. As that clock continues to run down, they need to start making a push somewhere now, I feel, because if they wait any longer, they might just simply not have enough time to actually get to the side itself. Shoxel still outside and alone. A big risk for Frei there is still, they just don't quite seem to know where they want to go. Guttero still holding windows, waiting for a defender to come to him. You can't keep relying on that. You have to actually make this attack work yourselves. You can't rely on sort of aggressive plays from the defense as the Ghosty. He's just holding this player at bay below. There's still no real push happening from Frei here, and the timer is continuing to get more and more desperate.
Bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attackers have
Oh,
recovered.
it's looking very, very close. We might even be seeing overtime here, Joe. Obviously, Frei on that match point already. They want to secure this one in regulation. They want to get all those 3 points clean, claim all of the rewards for this game. BTD, though, they aren't done yet. Still in this 5 versus 5, incredibly favored as the timer keeps cutting down. And they're still just doing nothing, sitting on these repels, waiting. Discount finds a kill onto Gussero. He wasn't aware, and there's the second from Discount. Heroic play, and the jump in is caught out as well. Bodolf shut down. Shoxel and Quaterna now left. Diffuser surrendered in the bomb site with only 30 seconds left. 5 versus 2. Quaterna now looking to get aggressive himself. Shoxel challenging vertical, does find a kill, and there is another kill. The jump in as well from Quaterna. Suddenly, this round doesn't look so winnable for Barney's trusted dinosaurs. Quaterna's brought it back to a 2 versus 2. 15 seconds, and they have the diffuser in their hands. Shoxel to cover, and Quaterna to get this plant down. Vertical angles trying to be covered. Venom tries to find the angle, but they don't know where he is. Thumbs flanking through. 3 seconds. Shoxel tries to get the kill. They're lining up, but Thumbs denies that chance of a regulation win. We are going to overtime, Joe. Our first game of Season 10, at least in the Masters Division. We've already breached 12 rounds.
Yeah, both teams now can walk away with this, I think, relatively happy, getting 1 point at least for both of them. That's still going to help them in the standings in the grand scheme of things. But a real heroic effort from Frei there, trying to just get that very much losing round, just edge it over there at the very end. The plan almost had to be stuck. It almost seemed like Thumbs just kind of stumbled upon that planter, really, when just going for that flank here as the the impact nades going out from Venom showed that they didn't really have a clue where that plant was actually going down. Cover could have been good if that flank was being watched, but there was clearly no drone in Fireplace actually looking there. So unfortunate for Frei there. They have now also conceded 1 point here in this matchup.
Yep.
No one will get that coveted 3 points today here, but they can still get a win on the board, and that's still going to be very good. Every point matters here, so there's still plenty to play for in overtime, as once again, back to barring gaming here. We've seen that a very, very close round for both teams here, but BTD must have seen something that they can improve on here, that they can really just, I guess, stop the attacking side from even getting close this time. Obviously, the early round went well, but it was a very tentative round. No team really wanted to make too much of a play. So we might see a lot more confidence come back in sort of both these teams now that we are in overtime. There is no more sort of risk of that total loss or that total win. We could see teams actually playing much more confidently in round 13.
Yeah, we might just see that indeed, but it is still that question for Frei. Okay, this is that pace that we wanted to see. Guttero immediately inside, finds a kill onto Thumbs. Guttero a second as well. Ghosty, no chance of this one ever going the way of BTD. It seems they've already found 2 picks, all on the back of Guttero. This is that aggression we want to see. Quaterna as well, getting a kill onto Den. Why couldn't we see this in that round before? This is entirely different. Discounts down. Like, this would have been so easy in that previous round. Venom's left 1 versus 5. It could be flawless here for Frei. Quaterna is sprinting it. Can't just might be. It will be flawless. Guttero, look at this run all the way down, sprinting, finding that pick from the top floor. Pops down their bow on the defense. Match point again for the Turkish side.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the pressure of being in that situation where you have it all on the line, really. You can get away with those 3 points, and now once you've lost that round, the gloves are basically off here. This just becomes a full-on brawl, and Frei really have excelled at it initially. They're now back onto that match point. The real question, though, is do they succumb to that pressure once again now that they have those 2 words hovering on the top of their screen, match point? It's now once again back on the line. They need to just continue, I think, with that pace, with that confidence that we just saw, or else BTD, they could still very much get away with a round here, and then we'll go on to that round 15, and I have a feeling it will be very similar to round 12, with not a lot of gunfights really happening, with teams once again playing very, very cautiously, not wanting to give anything up, when really Siege very much sort of, it encourages those aggressive plays. You have one-shot headshot here in this game, so you can just send players off on missions to just try and kill as many as they can. One shot is all you need, one well-placed hit. So really, you just need to see them taking advantage of that. Frei, they took great advantage of that in the previous round, just sending Guttero in on his own, really, just to get those entry kills. Will BTD learn something from that?
We'll just have to wait and find out, because obviously it might not all be over. We still have possibility of round 15. Frei definitely in the advantage. They have that first overtime round. They have that match point. But we saw 3-3 halves, so if we continue that 50% trend, it would be a Frei win here. Donati still 16 kills, but you've got Guttero now stepping up. Quaterna as well, who are also finding the scoreboard. It isn't just that one-man show like it might have been in the first half. So Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs is looking a little bit more difficult. Thumbs nearly gets the opener, which could have really sort of cracked this round wide open, but instead just can't quite land the shots in the blind spray through the floorboards. Donati down to 40 HP, but still standing.
Yeah, and BTD, unfortunately, not really playing with that kind of spark of life that we saw Feuer in the previous round. We see Thumbs here. He gave away his position and now just playing very, very carefully. Once again, waiting for a defender to come to him, and you just can't rely on that. You are the attacker for a reason. You must attack the building, not just lie behind a piano and try and bait out a kill there, because you're just simply not really improving the situation anyway, especially on Sledge. You have the Sledgehammer. That's where the name comes from. You need to start using that utility, or else you're basically sort of a waste here. And as more and more of these Frei defenders are allowed to just roam for basically free, uncontested, still applying pressure, destroying these drones, making the situation worse and worse for BTD, the situation, well, the round is just looking less and less winnable. It looks once again like it's just going to be this direct sight hit. There is no control on that hatch though. They're going to have to rely on getting a kill through there, I believe, unless potentially the hatch might be reinforced. That'd be an incredibly big blunder if so. But it's still, this is a very sort of rushed execute, and Den at least makes the situation somewhat positive for them. He gets that first pick with the grenade, but there's still a lot of work left to do.
Absolutely, Bodov strays into the sight lines, and that's not really what you want, but manages to get away down low as well himself. BTD still in the advantage, Thumbs as well, lurking upstairs, caught out but not down by Quaterna, who's still lurking up above Venom, so getting this plant down. There's no opportunity to retake this vertical. There's no opportunity to take down this plant, and never mind! Gutaro nearly went in, but didn't quite have the target priority to actually get that kill across. 3 versus 5 for Frei, making it a 2 versus 5. Thumb still has that cover upstairs. And we now have Bodov and Shoxel. They try and get something done, find the kills. Again, that target priority not quite working out for Frei. Shoxel 6 and 9 right now. What can he do in the situation? The only thing is die. 6 and 10 scoreline, and we're all tied up to round 15.
And my jaw kind of hit the floor in that round, because that was all the sort of all Frei needed to win the game there. They had all 5 alive until Den got that nade kill, but they had a lot of map control still above. It just seemed like they retreated far too early. You only left, I believe, 1 player actually able to challenge on that kitchen hatch. And if you just have 1 attacker there, you can just delay them. You don't even have to win that fight, just delay them. And that's exactly what Thumbs did, really. Just continue to keep that Legion at bay, which allowed them to have the security to get that plant down when they shouldn't. They simply should not be able to get that diffuser down when you had such an expansive roam game that was basically uncontested by BTD. Either way, Frei, they've let that round slip. Once again, we're in that strange position where both these teams now kind of have it all to play for. But last time that happened, there was a very, very slow, very, very safe round being played. And Frei, I'm really concerned for them here. They need to still have that energy they had 2 rounds ago. They can't let the pressure of the situation get to them here, or else BTD could just eat them up at the very final hurdle, take this match 8-7. I just need to see a fast-paced round here, really. That's all Frei can really rely on.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen some attack in round wins. Can this be BTD winning the only defensive overtime win? Obviously, having those 2 attacks, we're now all tied up. So, this is the last chance for both of these teams. As much as we would love infinite overtime, it's just not viable. Gutaro looking for that information, sends his drone in, shut down by Ghosty. They now know of this Army's position. Oh my god, just a second too early. Keyword was thrown.
They're not pushing for it. They once again
managed to get away.
It seems like if that was round 13, they would have definitely tried to force the issue, definitely tried to get that pick, and they don't. And in all this indecision, Thumbs actually gets out on top, takes down Denity there, and Frei on the back foot immediately in round 15 here. Things might continue to get worse. Thumbs still holding a very critical position around bathroom, can challenge on the Solarium. Frei, they had the... Oh, they didn't shoot the default cam. Look, so much intel going the way. Everyone knows these spots. It's just the pressure, Cameron. It's the pressure. The one thing we said they can't let get to them. It's causing these mistakes. It's causing this slow play. And it might just cost Frei the entire map.
Well, Bodolf has managed to skip past the Goon Mine, though. I don't know if they're aware of his position here in West Main, but no, walking too loudly, Venom shuts it down. 2 versus 5. Now, we've seen these situations before get very close for Frei, but they have never been able to get it across the board. Can this one be the difference maker? Like you said, the pressure getting too much for them. The Magnets completely shutting down this hard breach play, and the shots ring out. Thumbs finds one, but he's not prepared for the peek, and there it is. Den shuts it down. GG's in the chat. Barney's trusted dinosaurs just managed to survive.
And it honestly, congratulations to BTD. That shouldn't have been your win. Simple as, you know, they played wonderfully, but Frei, some very critical mistakes, specifically in overtime in round 14, round 15, that would have caused it to be a Frei win. It probably should have been 8-6, but they just let it slip away with just costly mistakes at the very end, sacrificing that 1 point. They still get one out of this situation, but they don't get that win. And that is, it's a close match to start this season, and I can't imagine it's a particularly good one for Feuer Frei.
Yeah, absolutely not exactly ideal. So let's bring Noctish back in here. Hopefully we still have Tish. Obviously, I know sometimes the Iranian internet can be a little bit of a problem, but no, he's here. Hello again, my friend. How did you find that game?
Hello there. So, okay, there's nothing more fun than being right about BTD winning.
Yeah.
But and it was close, to be honest. So 8-6, 7-5, same shit. Oh, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, anyway, okay. I want to ask you, Joe and Pastor, do you agree with me that we have seen two different types of each team? So it was like FF, very aggressive, and sometimes delaying like they have all the time in the world, especially on attack. Same about Team BTD. They were like some rounds very good, some rounds they were lacking many things.
Yeah.
That it very much seemed like these teams would just kind of roll the dice at the start, and they got even numbers, they'd go very fast, they'd have a lot of confidence, and if not, they'd get stuck on one roamer and they'd have about 20 seconds to execute.
Exactly. The thing is that, in my opinion, FF was better team in terms of learning through the rounds. So if they got stuck because of a certain power play, for example, Azami playing on Solarium long angles, in the next round they learn to play on Solarium windows, cut off the rotations, and bring up a more aggressive style towards the round, towards the BTD. On the other hand, BTD in some defense round, they were completely on point, know where to execute the players, know how to play the time, but sometimes they were completely off the chart. The communication was completely non-existent. I feel these teams were kind of mixed up everything with each other for inside the team. So I'm pretty sure they have practiced a lot, but a certain situation in this game rise up that they didn't expect at all, and it completely changed their equations.
I think another big thing with these teams sort of coming out this match, I think a lot of them really struggle under that pressure, and I think that's a very hard thing to kind of sort of improve. Is not something like you can't just almost like scrim to get rid of those nerves. It's something you just have to keep playing, and that can be a particularly difficult thing for teams to work on, and it's just the nature of the whole thing. So I hope as this sort of season goes on, they get a lot better with dealing with that. But I think specifically with the point you're making, more often than not, we saw those very timid teams at those very important rounds, like round 12, round 15. They just seemed like complete shells of themselves when it was under that very extreme pressure.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. Go on, Pastor.
Okay, I was mainly just agreeing with Joe, to be honest. It was mainly the pressure that we saw, you know, things like the default cam. It's those very simple, almost fundamentals that even if you're in a ranked match, you know, even at the start of that game that they would have caught out. But hey, that's just what happens.
It is a nature of teams to make mistakes. You can't find any team in the world. It doesn't matter what kind of games we are playing. Is it CS:GO? It is Apex. It is Rainbow Six Siege. Teams make mistakes, and that's natural. But one of the things that actually I think teams need to work on is to cut off, as you said, those fundamental things that they can work on. They're droning the confident in playing operators that might catch the other teams off guard. I'm not sure about this fact, but I think BTD didn't play Rams at all, and on the other hand, Frei was completely consistent playing Rams when there was needed. So that confident, that need a team feel to play a certain operator, a certain utility towards a round can make some changes towards the whole game and the whole round.
Yeah, and I am just going to check on that as well, to do with that confidence. It was BTD that banned labs and consulate straight away, so they almost just have an aversion to the sort of newer stuff. Obviously, they didn't play RAM. They immediately ban away the 2 new maps coming into the pool, and they went to Chalet, where we absolutely have just that sort of very strong baseline. So, just... I reckon that's where we're going to call it. We have our next game, 20 Stars Esports versus Myth Esports, coming up after the break. And when we come back, we'll break all of the action down for you. See you in a few minutes.